Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. So let's go ahead and get into the Love During Lockup review. So this is the new season, so let's go ahead and get into it and see what this season brings. So the episode starts off with Justine and Mike. They met in prison, of course, because it's Love During Lockup. So he's still in prison. They met in there, and they actually met through his mom because Justine works with his mom. So seems like they have a really good relationship. His mom actually seems like a really nice lady. So they seem like they have a good relationship, unlike Antonio and what's his face last season with their mama, because she was not having it. They was getting into it, everything. But they seem like they're on a good track. But Justine's mom is not for the foolery. So they're basically there at the bridal place, and she basically tells the lady, like, hey, I'm here to find a dress because I'm getting married tomorrow. So the lady had to look on her face like, oh, wow. So basically we're going to have to find something in the store. So she does this very last minute. She has her mom with her and her daughter. Her daughter seems like she's about a teenager, and she seems like she really does like Mike for the most part, because Mike actually calls when they are there picking out dresses, and she was basically like, hey, I can't wait to see you tomorrow and everything. So it seems like they do have a good relationship. But like I said, Justine's mom is not for it. She said it sounds like a damn circus because Justine tells them that Mike's family and his daughters don't even know yet. But mind you, everyone's supposed to be coming to this wedding tomorrow. But they don't even know about the wedding. So we get into that. And so basically Justine's mom is over it. She's like, this is a circus. And at this point, Justine's looking like the clown. Then we get Ty. So y'all remember Ty from the first season of Love During Lockup, the one who had like basically hella inmates. She was just talking to everybody. She felt like, pretty much no one treated her right on the outside. So now she was going to be the player and play with people who are on the inside. So that is Ty's backstory. So Ty comes back for this season, and she's still talking to Hottie from last season, y'all. Still, even after the Boston situation and everything, still talking to Hottie. But y'all know her. Hottie ain't the only person she talking to. So she talking to him, and I think she's not talking to him at the moment because she's still mad about the whole Boston situation. So when they first show Ty, she's actually ignoring Hottie, like not answering his calls, not opening up his letters. Then she has the nerve to have her friend open up a letter that comes over. And she was like, well, can you just read the letter for me? Because I ain't been reading them, but can you read it for me? And can you let me know if it's genuine? Ty, stop playing. Stop wasting your time and your friends. So the friend reads the letter, and she reads it sarcastic as hell. So basically, as she's reading this letter, sarcastic as hell, Ty's not even seeing that she's being sarcastic. She over there looking like she finna cry. I'm over here watching like, girl, stand up. Like, what? Ty, come on. I had so much faith in you. So her friend basically tells her that she's not tired and she's not done because she's entertaining it. And pretty much you having me read this letter. And I agree. So then we meet Melissa and Louie. So they've actually been friends since the second grade, she said. So they've known each other for years. Went to high school together and everything. So they start off with a FaceTime call. So she's in this little cheerleading outfit, and she's doing this like 1, 2, 3, can't wait to see you, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I miss you, whatever. She's doing some kind of little chant. Really corny, but he loved it. So they're just sitting there talking. She basically just starts stripping. I'm like, I didn't even know y'all could do that on them kind of calls. So yeah, she starts stripping from the little outfit that she got on. And basically she was saying that he robbed a store with a butcher knife because he was actually relapsing, which I thought was really sad. Because I think I heard her right. She said relapsing. But then I thought, like, relapsing is when you're trying to get off of drugs. So it's just crazy how he kind of stopped one habit and seemed like he picked up another one or just needed some kind of rush, which I thought was really sad. But her friend thinks that she deserves better. And basically, he went and added everybody from high school and everything on Facebook. And basically, that's how they started talking again. And her friend feels like basically he was just throwing out bait to anybody. And basically, you bit. So I was like, dang. And her friend basically says she needs to get her head out of her ass. Like, her friend was not, like, Melissa's friend was not with the BS. She was like, I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. And if you don't want to hear it, I'm sorry, but get your head out your ass. I was like, well, we need more friends like this on the show. So then we get to Chelsea and Mikey. So Chelsea is actually hearing impaired, so she's actually deaf. They met through his sister. So his sister was basically like, hey, I know this girl. She's a great person. But, I do want to tell you she's deaf. But, if you can get past that, she's great. And he was able to get past that, seems like. I really hope that he's not taking advantage of her. But one thing that I noticed that I did like is that he's learning how to sign to basically be able to communicate with her. And that's something you're not just going to do. Or maybe he's just really into the scam. We don't know, but we just going to have to keep watching and see. Because we don't know. But she did say something that I was like, okay, well, maybe. Basically, the whole time she's been talking to him, she's only sent him, I guess, $80, but she does spend all the money on the phone to talk to him. But then again, it's like, girl, you the one that want to talk to him, so you putting the money on the phone. But technically, he's not really asking her for anything. So I was like, it might be genuine, but he did say that he does worry about the language barriers, and that worries me too, because if you're worried about that now, when you don't even have all the freedom that you have on the outside, I just hope that he's the same person, basically, that she's talking to while he's in there. Because Chelsea does seem very, very sweet. Then we get Emily, and I think his name is Dory. When I tell you, as soon as they came on the screen and that man was on the phone, I think he was leaving her a message. He said, I just want to know why your hair ain't growing. He said, because mine ain't here growing. He said, I can't be with you and my hair longer than yours, but I love you though. What kind of voicemail? When I tell you I was rolling, I said, okay, so he definitely seems like a character, but oh girl, Emily is just as much of a character. When I tell you, I think he met his match with this one. So Emily is very smart. Looks like she is pursuing her master's in criminal justice. So at first I'm like, okay, Emily, you seem like you're on the right track. And as she was talking, I was like, hold on now, girl, you might be street smart. You might be book smart, but you might not be too street smart. But it all came around, and she knows exactly what she's doing. So let's get into it. So they are at a ring store. So she meets her friend at a ring store. They basically start the conversation off as, I'm going to make him pay for his mistake. So they get into, what's the mistake? So the girl like, what happened? She's like, oh, well, he called me. She said, how when they say you have a collect call from so-and-so, she said, he says that in Spanish. So I'm like, hold on. He knows I don't know Spanish like that. I'm like, oop. So she says that when she gets on the phone, she says hello. He just starts going in Spanish. She's like, who do you think you talking to? This man says Alexa. She says no. Because, her name is Emily. So she's like, no. So basically she knows he's on some BS. So after that, he's basically like, I'm so sorry. And now basically they're talking again. But that's where I was like, okay, Emily, you might be, you might not be too street smart, but Emily got another thing coming, because Emily said, well, I'm his power of attorney, so I have his stimulus checks. I was like, wait, what? Because I've only heard of power of attorney for people like older people. That's why I'm like, wow, like at this point, she's scamming him. And she literally said that. So as I'm thinking that, like, oh, wow, okay. So Emily's scamming. As I'm thinking that, she basically says it, like, and just confirms. Like, what did she say? Word for word, I think she was like, yeah, so I'm his power of attorney. And she was like, he's an idiot if he doesn't know that I have access to his stimulus checks. She said, he gonna scam a scammer. That's what she said. She said, I'm going to scam a scammer. And she said, word for word, I know he's sketchy. So basically, she said, I'm finna sketch with you. We both finna be artists, con artists at this point. We finna sketch together. I said, okay, well, go ahead, Emily. Because at this point, I'm tired of watching these seasons and seeing everybody get taken advantage of. Somebody gonna have to get back. And it's gonna be Emily, look like. So then we head back to Justine, and she is over there finding a dress. They're still just trying to go through it. She's still trying to figure out what dress she's gonna get because the crazy thing is she's getting married at the prison, so it's like she has to be still conservative. So there's not too many options that she has. But it looks like she does find a dress, so they go ahead and head out because she's gonna go meet meet Mike's family. Okay, so now we come back with Ty and the shit. The sugar honey iced tea. Shout out to Zoe for that. But yeah, so we get back to Ty. So Ty is at home chilling. She gets a knock on the door. Who's at the door? It is Kyoka. So I don't know if y'all remember, Kyoka is Hottie's cousin from last season. Basically, how they started talking, how they met. She was like, oh, I got a cousin in prison, blah, blah. She was like, hey, basically sent me his info. And they started writing. They started talking from there. So Kyoka show up, and she shows up with a gift. Basically, she's like, I got a surprise for you. She's like, okay. So she has the phone. Who's on the phone? Hottie's on the phone. So, she's been ignoring Hottie. So basically, Hottie said, well, I'm just going to send my cousin to your house. So he does that. He's on the phone. He's talking to her. And Hottie brings a gift. The gift is a hoodie with his face on it. So, do y'all remember last season when Ty kept trying to get these hoodies that he was selling, basically saying free him and all that? And she was mad because the girl that he was messing around with her with had the hoodie on when they met up to talk. She said, I've been trying to get this hoodie for 2 months, and she gonna show up in a hoodie. So the hoodie is just a sensitive topic. So I figured, he said, well, shit, if I give her a hoodie, maybe it's all good. She wanted this hoodie, now she got it. And that's exactly what happened. She got the hoodie and all was forgiven. So then he was like, well, I want you to marry me. So he has his cousin give her the ring. And Ty's like, oh my God, yes, blah, blah, blah. I can't wait to start planning the wedding, blah, blah. I'm just sitting here like, child, all it took was a hoodie. Like, bruh, a hoodie? Then Hottie turns it around. I don't know how he turned it around, but she fell for it. He talking about, yeah, you hurt my feelings, not answering my calls. Nigga, did you forget what you did? You literally had basically a wife for 11 years, pretty much at this point, and was playing with Ty. But now, unfortunately, Ty feels like she won. So she was like, yeah, she's basically like, yep, he's mine. It worked out. So I'm just like, Lord, the worst is yet to come. Like I can just feel it. I can just feel it. So as I'm thinking everything is like, getting worse, it gets worse. Because they turn it to the cousin. No, actually, Ty gets a call first. She gets a call from one of her inmates, one of, I think 6. She said, yep, she said she's talking to 5 to 6 inmates right now. And she started naming them too, had no shame in her game. And then the last one said, yeah, he ain't going nowhere. I was like, but you literally just got engaged 10 seconds ago, girl. 10 seconds ago. So mind you, Kyoka's still at the house. Your fiance's cousin still at your house. But she gets the call. She accepts the call. Press 1, whatever she got to do. And she goes outside and she talks to him. She's like, yeah, I'm going to be ready for my video call with you tonight. I'm like, Ty's still a mess. Still a mess. But we go back into the house and she basically like, okay, well, I got to get his cousin out of here. So his cousin leaves. When his cousin leaves, his cousin drops a bomb too and says, well, basically now I got to go make my rounds to Boston's house and give her this ring. And she pulls out another ring. Y'all, when I tell you my mouth dropped, but then I was like, I'm not surprised. Because basically Hottie said, well, if Ty's still on that BS, just go to Boston's house. So basically at this point, he has 2 fiancés. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. And then we go back to Justine because, of course, she just got the dress. So now she's meeting up with his family. It was his mom, his sister, and then his daughters were there too as well. And I liked the relationship I seen with her and his daughters because basically they've never been around each other all together. She meets up with them on her own, basically goes out of her way to, try to get a relationship with them, which I thought was cool. That was neat to see. But one thing that I thought was weird is that she's hanging around. I'm talking about, oh yeah, we're going to dinner tonight. And you're still not telling them that y'all are planning on getting married tomorrow. Like, that's something you need to tell them. And basically, she's just going to wait until the dinner to where her family meets his family and then just drop the bomb. But I just don't understand why she didn't tell him when she's meeting up with them, because it's like you're sitting here talking to his sister and the sister is telling you, like, okay, you seem cool, but I'm basically I'm not convinced. Like, you gonna have to show me. She said, what she say? She said, I'm very protective and selective. I said, okay, I know that's right. She's basically like, yeah, so you're gonna have to show me. So she also said she doesn't like something along the lines of she doesn't like dishonesty. So once she said that, you should have maybe thought, okay, well, you know what? I was gonna wait till later when we were all at dinner. But, I don't want to surprise y'all too much, so let me go ahead and tell y'all. That would have been a great time to say something. So, child, this season so far is looking like, it looks like it's going to be way better than last season, hopefully, because y'all know we were struggling to watch it last season, and to get through it. But this season look like it's going to be something because it ended actually with the Ty situation with pretty much Cousin Cheater. Because she basically Cousin Cheater at this point, too, helping him out. Cousin Cheater basically saying, yeah, well, I got to go to Boston's now to drop off the next. Like, girl, you need to start working for your cousin and work for Amazon because you're a woman yourself and you're okay with this, which is so crazy to me. But that is all for the first Love During Lockup. Let's get into this season and comment, and subscribe. Bye, y'all.